is later on just request. Okay. Class, visible po yung ating po naka-project na questions.
Yes po, sir.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so without further ado, let's start off with yung ating pong final coaching class. Pag final coaching na, hindi na tayo nagsisystem by system by system. No? Kapag final coaching, you'll be given yung sets of questions as how it is presented sa actual NCLEX NGN exam ninyo. No? So, it's a mixture of different topics na dapat po ay well familiarized na tayo. Okay? So first off, sa ating pong condition na physiologic adaptation is a client suffering from diabetes mellitus. Okay? So may it be local boards or your international boards such as your NCLEX, ang ating pong endocrine condition na to, lagi po yang lumalabas. Okay, so let's try to condition our minds na dapat well-oriented tayo about the condition na diabetes mellitus. Lagi yang lumalabas. Okay, so class, the first question is a client suffering from diabetes. No, so take note of what is found sa ating initial assessment. No, initial assessment reveals that the client is unresponsive, meaning that there is an affected natin po ang ating level of consciousness. The BP po natin is significantly low. Your RRs increased, manifesting hyperventilation. And hyperventilation in clients suffering from diabetes may be reflected as what we call your Cosmos respiration. It's your Cosmos respiration. Heart rate is insignificant, it's near normal. Temperature is insignificant, it's normal. Now, the most significant finding here is that there's a fruity smell on the client's breath. And that fruity smell on the client's breath po natin manifest because of too much ketones in the blood. So remember, the representation of ketones in our body is either a fruity smell in your breath or a fruity smell in your urine, known as ketonuria. Now, what is being discussed here? This is actually the condition known as diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA. Okay, so what should we know about your DKA? Your diabetic ketoacidosis is a common acute complication. Again, it's a common acute complication, meaning its onset is sudden. It's a common acute complication of diabetes in general. Okay, but it's more common in diabetes type 1. Okay, again, it's a common acute complication of diabetes. It's not exclusive sa type 1, pero mas madalas siya sa type 1. Now, your Cosmos respiration or Cosmos breathing, okay, causes the client to lose carbon dioxide. The loss of carbon dioxide natin is actually a compensatory mechanism to balance off your pH. Okay. An increase in ketones predisposes the client to acidosis because ketones are acids. So, foremost, ang problema dito, metabolic acidosis. Ngayon, ang ating compensation to that condition is a decrease in carbon dioxide level in order to lessen the acidotic state of your blood. Okay, so we call this as metabolic acidosis. Ngayon, for those who will uh, who will uh, uh, counter this ratio, baka sabihin nila, sir, why not respiratory acidosis? Bakit po metabolic acidosis? Pwede rin naman pong respiratory alkalosis. Sorry pala, respiratory alkalosis. So, yes, this is a possible answer. Lagyan ko ng smiley. This is a possible answer. But the thing is, Your alkalotic state, okay? Your alkalotic state po na yan will not develop in DKA, no? Although class, yung pagbagsak ng carbon dioxide in itself can result in respiratory alkalosis, in DKA, mas panalo pa rin ang ketosis kesa sa ating drop in carbon dioxide. So again, no, metabolic acidosis is the condition. Okay. Although nagkokosmos, ulitin ko although nagkokosmos, bumabagsak ang carbon dioxide, it's just a compensation. Okay, pero panalo pa rin ang ating acidotic state. So again, number one, question number one, the answer is metabolic acidosis. Now, furthermore, let's clear all drawings. Now, as a general rule of thumb, most of your chronic diseases results to acidosis. Tandaan natin to. Most of your chronic diseases results to acidosis. Let me give you an example of that. No, heart failure. You respond with what? Acidosis. What form? If you have heart failure, there's a decreased perfusion of oxygenated blood to your tissues, resulting to lactic acid accumulation, which may predispose the client to the development of metabolic acidosis. What else? COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. What does it cause? It causes acidosis as well. What type? Respiratory. Okay. Why respiratory acidosis, sir? Because of accumulation of what? Carbon dioxide. What else? Diabetes mellitus. What condition? DKA. What's that? It's a metabolic acidosis, as what we have already discussed. What else? Renal failure. What can happen? Metabolic acidosis. Okay. Why? Because in renal failure, there is a failure to excrete acidic metabolites. Hindi mo matanggal ang ating pong mga metabolites in your blood, which are primarily acids. So, as a rule of thumb, if it's a chronic disease, think of acidosis, heart failure, COPD, diabetes, renal failure. All of those are chronic diseases which causes what? Acidosis. Ang alkalotic state, your alkalotic state are usually transient. No, it's usually transient. What do I mean by transient? Okay, it's usually acute. No? It's very seldom that you will meet an alkalotic state that's chronic. Kapag sinabi nating alkalotic state, kadalasan acute conditions yan. Let me give an example. Respiratory alkalosis brought about by what? Hyperventilation. What is hyperventilation? An acute natin pong state, as evidenced by clients who have what? Yung ating pong cosmols. Nabanggit ko na kanina. What else? Hyperventilating client who is anxious, anxiety. Who else? Yung mga nakapag-take na tinatawag na respiratory stimulants. Lahat ng yan, although sinabi nating merong hyperventilation, lahat ng conditions na yan acute. How about metabolic alkalosis? No, usually metabolic alkalosis is due to an increase and accumulation in your base, or particularly your bicarbonate. When does this happen? Usually it's because of drug administration. Usually it's because of IV administration. No? Drug and IV administration causes toxicity in your blood. No? Nagkakaroon ng bicarbonate accumulation. So ano yan? Those are alkalotic states which are also acute. So I'm going to repeat my point here for those who came po late. My point, kaya ginagawa ko to class para makita nyo, kapag pinag-usapan ang chronic condition or late condition, safe kayo sa sagot na ano? acidosis. Ulitin ko, kapag ang pinag-uusapan ay chronic condition or late condition, safe kayo sa sagot na acidosis. Class, do you understand? Am I clear? Okay. Pakisagutan to. Kindly answer this properly. A client po natin had ingested salicylates. No. You're being asked about early and late manifestations. What happens early or late? And you are to choose between letter A at letter B. A, you're just given the word alkalosis. And B, you're just given the word acidosis. O yan lang options na pagmimilian nyo. Okay. Guess what is the answer? Okay. Nag-develop daw ng pasyente ng salicylate toxicity. O pinapili lang kayo sa dalawang option. Anong early manifestation o anong late nating condition? Alkalosis or acidosis? Respond. Guys, alaw ko nga mag-annotate. Guys, are you still there? Ika nga muna. Andito ba kayo? Josh, ano yung A? Josh, ano yung A? Okay. Plus, even without you knowing, yung pinaka-condition, your best bet kapag early or acute, alkalosis. Kapag late or chronic, acidosis. Maliwanag? Okay. So, Q nyo na yun. Q nyo na. So, ulitin ko yung ating rule of thumb ha. Kapag late or chronic ang state, isagot mo ang acidosis. Kapag acute ang tinatanong na state, sagot mo ang alkalosis. Okay. So anyway, clear ko ang drawings na to. Okay, let's move on. When performing an admission assessment, what should the nurse recognize as signs and symptoms of hyperthyroidism? Select all that apply. Okay, select all that apply. Now let's try to mention this one. Hyperthyroidism, okay, is most commonly presented as the autoimmune condition known as Graves' disease. Or it can be presented as your Paris disease. Or it can also be presented as your base dose disease. Okay. So sa NCLEX, may it be Graves, Paris, or base dose. May it be Graves, Paris, or base dose. Lahat ng yan, representation ng hyperthyroidism. Okay. But the most common one, of course, is Graves. Now, what is evident? Everything is high and fast. No. There is stimulation of your CNS. No. So let's try to clear all drawings. There is central nervous system stimulation in clients with hyperthyroidism. Okay. CNS stimulation results to what? It results to yung ating anxiety. It results to nervousness. So nervousness is a correct manifestation of your hyperthyroidism. There is increase in the metabolic rate. An increase in metabolic rate gives the client more of catabolic processes. Mas panalo ang catabolism or layman's term what we call as breakdown. Okay. Mas mabilis mag-breakdown ng molecules ng katawan mo kaysa mag-build up, resulting to not to weight gain but what? Weight loss. Okay. It should be weight loss. Exophthalmos, or otherwise represented as the word ophthalmitis. Your ophthalmitis or what we call ophthalmopathy is commonly associated in thyroid conditions. So, more commonly, ina-attach natin yan sa Graves. But some clients, kapag may Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism, pwede ring magkaroon. So, it's a correct manifestation. Again, exophthalmos, ophthalmitis is the abnormal protrusion of the eyeballs, which is actually referred to as an inflammatory condition, kaya nga itis. Kaya lumuluwa mata ng pasyente kasi nabamaga. Loss of appetite, or technically known as anorexia. Anorexia or loss of appetite is not evident sa pasyente natin po na may hyperthyroidism. Okay. Why not loss of appetite? Rather, it's increase in appetite. Okay. Pagtatakaw yan. Why? Because of the catabolic processes. So, because you are burning, again, because it should not be anorexia, because of the rapid burning of calories. Maghahanap ang katawan mo ng extra calories, kaya it will stimulate your hunger. So, hindi dapat loss of appetite but increase in appetite. Now, constipation due to decreased motility is not found in hyperthyroidism. Why? Rather than constipation in clients with hyperthyroidism, it is observed that they have increased in gastric and intestinal motility, or what we call peristalsis. An increase in motility results not to constipation, but rather to what? Diarrhea. So, constipation is not a consistent finding. Hot and sweating. Okay. So the client who is suffering from hyperthyroidism, since there's increased metabolism, no? There's increased production of your ating body heat. So it's correct natin pong finding. Usually it will be presented to you as diaphoresis. Okay. And heat intolerance. Diaphoresis and heat intolerance. Okay. So lahat ng yan are consistent. What is consistent as a manifestation for hyper? Nervousness, check. Kung hypo yan, it will be presented to you as what? Decreased mentation. Now class, kapag po weight gain, hypo, dapat nakasulat dyan weight loss. Exophthalmos, yes, hyper. Increase in appetite, hindi loss in appetite. Diarrhea, not constipation, and sweating and heat intolerance is expected. So the answer number 2 is 1, 3, and 6. Okay, so let's move forward. Let's clear all drawings. Moving forward to the next question. Okay. What lab results would the nurse anticipate finding in a client receiving chemotherapy who is experiencing pancytopenia? What's the representing word? Pan. Pancytopenia means that there is a decrease in all of your blood components, maybe RBC, WBC, or platelet. Okay. So, select all that apply. What's the normal value for your WBC? Your normal value for your WBC is between what? In an adult, it's between 5,000 to 10,000 per cubic millimeter. Okay. A blood cell count of 3,800 is representative of a decrease in WBC. Okay. Not this one. Next, platelet count of 90. Platelet count of 90. Anong representation natin po ng normal platelet count ng pasyente? It's between 150,000 to 450,000 per cubic millimeter. So platelet count of 90 is also a manifestation in pancytopenia, not number 4. 450 is nasa normal range. Red blood cell count of 3 million. Red blood cell count of 3 million. What's the red blood cell count in humans? Okay, adult natin po is 4 to 6 million per cubic millimeter. Okay, so that's correct. Number 6, 7.3 million is actually very high. So yung ating sagot is 1, 3, and 5. Pancytopenia. Okay, pancytopenia. Kabaliktaran, class. Polycythemia. Oh, pag sinabing polycythemia, lahat mataas. Mataas ang RBC, mataas ang WBC, mataas ang platelet. Yan ang opposites, no? Pancytopenia is a condition where there is low levels of RBC, WBC, and platelet. Polycythemia is a condition when there is increase in RBC, WBC, and platelet. Lagyan ko ng tawag to, polycythemia vera. Okay. So kapag merong PV ang pasyente, polycythemia vera, it's a hematologic condition where everything is high. Okay. Now, class, kapag chinek ko to sa kanilang laboratory values ng hematocrit, i-reflect ko ang hematocrit value ng dalawa. Pag bumabagsak ang ating formed element sa dugo, bumabagsak din ang hematocrit. Pag tumataas ang lahat ng formed element sa dugo, tumataas din ang hematocrit. Okay? So, related to that. Now, let's move on. Clear drawings. Let's move on to the next question. Okay. Number 4. The nurse is assigned to triage a client presenting to the ER who is suspected to have exposed to inhaled anthrax. So again, it's inhalational anthrax. Okay. What is anthrax? Anthrax po natin is a bacterial infection. Di ba? Okay. It's a bacillary infection caused by yung ating pong Bacillus anthracis. Ngayon, ang anthrax can be presented in 3 forms. No? Pwede yung inhaled anthrax. Okay? Pwede yung ingested anthrax. Pwede yung cutaneous anthrax. Class, can you follow? Okay. So, kapag nire-represent ito sa NCLEX, pwedeng nasinghot mo, pwedeng nakain mo, pwedeng kumapit sa balat mo. Ngayon, yung small papule, nagkaroon ka ng ating pong raised bump on your skin na mukhang insect bite that later on causes a circumscribed necrotic natin pong lesion sa balat, it's cutaneous. Okay. Yung small papule on your skin that's resembling an insect bite that later on pangingitim, that is cutaneous anthrax. Okay. Ngayon, class, alin sa mga to tinatanong? Inhaled, malamang lungs ang affected. Abrupt onset of what? Dyspnea and fever is the answer. Abrupt onset of dyspnea and fever. Okay. So that is primarily a manifestation of yung ating inhalational anthrax. And that is usually used. Ginamit ng anthrax class natin po nung time ng may war against Iraq. Okay, as a form of bioterrorism. Okay, bioterrorism. Okay, it's a biochemical na ginamit nilang panglaban noon sa mga US troops. So ang tawag po nila is inhalational anthrax. No. Yung pustular vesicles on the skin. This is yung pustular vesicles. This is your PAX. Kapag sinabi mong vesiculopostular, PAX yan. Okay. Anong dalawang PAX ang alam natin? O yung inyong chicken pox at smallpox. No. Ang smallpox eradicated na. Ang chickenpox meron pa. Bago nga palang pox ninyo, monkeypox. Monkeypox. Okay, meron din siyang vesiculopostular lesions sa balat. Okay. So most significant finding number 4 is 1. Abrupt onset of dyspnea and fever. Okay. Saan nanggagaling ang anthrax? No? This is a bacillary infection that is commonly known to be caught, okay, from farm animals. Kapag farmer ka, no, exposed ka sa ating pong cows, exposed ka sa ating horses, o kahit sino mang may hoof. Your hoofed animals or farm animals are the main reservoir of yung ating pong Bacillus anthracis. Okay? So, take note of that. Sa communicable diseases yan. Okay. Moving forward, let's move on to number 5. What activities should a nurse recommend to a group of adolescents who have been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis? Select all that apply. Okay. So kapag ang pasyente mo may rheumatoid form of arthritis, no? You're going to choose low impact activities. Kasi kapag mayroon po tayong arthritis, your joints are inflamed. And when you expose the client to high impact activities, it can further cause damages to your joints. So, what are low impact activities here? Is it jogging, volleyball, tennis, bicycle riding, or swimming? So low impact activities, yung hindi masyado magkikiskisan ang joints mo. So swimming class, okay, is considered as low impact. Tennis class, it's a very aggressive natin pong sport, no? So high impact to. Volleyball as well. Usually, yung ating pong mga uh, sports kung saan meron tayong kalaban, no, are considered as high impact activities. Jogging may seem to be low impact, pero class, according to sa ating pong reference nito, jogging can still be considered as not advisable kapag halimbawa po ang pasyente natin is in the acute exacerbations of rheumatoid arthritis. More so, mas low impact sa kanya ang bicycle riding. Okay, so low impact activities are the following. Now, with regards to your rheumatoid arthritis, kapag pinag-usapan natin ang ating pong rheuma, and I know that I'm echoing Sir Ryan's lecture here, ang ating rheuma kasi, pag minsan, ini-equate natin ang word na rheuma sa arthritis. Okay, where in fact, yan ang mga misnomer ng mga Pilipino. Where in fact, ang rheuma nag-explain lang na isang klase ng arthritis, which is your rheumatoid arthritis. Okay, so mali itong term na to. Ilang klase bang arthritis nyo? To generalize yung forms sa arthritis nyo, 3 yan. 1, 2, and 3. Yung first one is rheumatoid arthritis. Second one is osteoarthritis. Ang third one is gouty arthritis. Okay. Anong nature? Pag sinabi yung rheumatoid arthritis, It's autoimmune. When I say autoimmune, it may affect anyone. Bata man o matanda, magkaka-rheumatoid arthritis. Basta na-trigger ang autoimmunity. Okay, what is osteoarthritis? Osteoarthritis, degenerative, rheumatoid, autoimmune. Okay, autoimmune ito. Osteoarthritis, degenerative. Yan ang nature niya. Ano ibig sabihin? Sino magkakaroon ng osteoarthritis? Matatanda. Bakit? Overuse of joints sa katandaan, sobrang gamit ng ating pong mga joints causes joint degeneration. Ang GA or gouty arthritis is often called as metabolic arthritis. Bakit? Ang problema sa gouty arthritis is the metabolism of a certain acid in the blood known as your uric acid. Okay. So take note of that. Autoimmune, degenerative, at metabolic. O common question sa arthritis nyo. Ayoko na magtanong ng swan neck appearance ha. My goodness. Okay. Common question. Which of the three is most often incorporated with yung early morning joint stiffness? Early morning joint stiffness. Answer, class. Early morning joint stiffness. Hala na. RA. Okay. Sino sa tatlo ang usually incorporated with yung ating pong difficulty in gripping objects?